Hey, what is going on, your Bourbon Butterfree? I was doing some experimenting on the stream the other day. By the way, check out the live stream. I stream every day except Tuesdays. Twitch.tv/AzulGG. I play in tournaments. I build decks. A lot of PTCGO action over there. So check it out. First link in the description. Give it a click. Give it a follow. And we tried Chandelure the other day. Chandelure VMAX. I was like, you know what? I'm kind of bored with everything else that's going on right now. Let's just kind of build a deck around a VMAX that hasn't really been played with yet. And so I landed on Chandelure, put it together, and it was actually pretty solid. Ton of fun. So I definitely recommend it if you have the cards for it to definitely try it out. Way better than I thought it would be. So Chandelure VMAX 320 HP has the Cursed Shimmer ability that says your opponent can't play tool cards from their hand, which combos with our attack. And it's not, the ability's not that great. It does combo with our attack, which is Max Poltergeist for Fire and Colorless. We do 70 damage times the number of trainer cards in our opponent's hand. And at first I was like, there's almost no way we're ever going to hit for 1-hit KO damage, and I was wrong on that. And we don't have to hit for 1-hit KO damage the whole time or all the time. Hitting for 2-hit KO damage a lot of the time is enough to win games, and we're pretty consistently doing that, especially because in the current format, the only real way to like get cards out of your hand, so it would be our opponent discarding their trainer cards, is with Quick Ball. Decks only have like 4 Quick Ball, so when we play Marnie ourselves and randomly give our opponent 4 cards, or use some of these alchemies, which is really the power of the deck, which allows this deck to be viable, to be honest, because without the alchemies, I don't think we could. Chandelure VMAX wouldn't be very good, but with the alchemies, they got that Sharing Sweets ability, which says when we evolve this, we can use the ability and then we can both draw a card. We make our opponent draw a card and we draw a card. Our opponent does not have a choice. It's not a you may have, your opponent may draw a card. They have to draw a card, and then we can also draw a card as well, or we have to draw a card if we use the ability, right? So we play a 4/4 alchemy in here. We also play 4 Scoop Up Nets, so we can reset that Sharing Sweets ability multiple times and try and use it to make our Chandelure do more damage. And the combo actually works super well together. I was really impressed with the deck overall, and it's just a ton of fun and a great change of pace in the current meta. So that's the combo there, Chandelure VMAX with the alchemy. The rest of the deck, pretty straightforward. Nothing super special here. 4 Great Ball, 4 Level Ball, 4 Quick Ball. Got a Pound Pad in here because we want to get Marnie's back. Scoop Nets, like I mentioned. A couple Air Balloons here just so we can move our Chandelures around if we have to, or move our Crobat without having to attach an energy to it. Those are the only switch cards we play in there for our V Pokemon. 4 Nets, of course, can move our Alchemies around. Still play 4 Research, though, because we want to be aggressive early on. We just want to set up, get going, turn to Chandelure VMAX every game, ideally. And then Marnie, 4 Marnie in here, because we don't want our opponent to always have control over their hand. So if they get to look at a hand for a little while and we see them just like throwing stuff out, or it's like a 2-card hand, a 1-card hand, and they'll be pretty aggressive with their trainer cards once they figure out what we're doing, or if they already know what we're doing. So we play the Marnie, force them into at least 4 random cards, and then we can play some alchemies after that, draw them up some more cards. And of course, alchemy, because it does draw 1 card, it combos great with Rotom Phone. So we have 4 Rotom Phone here. It's a really cute combo in this deck as well. We use Rotom Phone, we use alchemy, we could use another Rotom Phone, use another alchemy, find the cards we need to you know, put the pieces together, get that turn 2 VMAX, find the Marnie, whatever. So the Rotom Phones are sick in here as well. And we got 4 Capture and 4 Heat and 2 Fire. So not a ton of energy in the deck, and that can be a little bit scary sometimes because our turn 1 attachment and our turn 2 attachment are so important, but I haven't whiffed yet, so it's been a little bit scary. But we do play 2 Crobat in here, which is some extra fuel or extra draw power for us to play with. And by the time we get to our second turn, as long as we get that first attachment down, we'll have the Sharing Sweets to draw cards and maybe even combo with Rotom Phones to help us really find those energy and make sure we get all the pieces together for our turn to attack. Guys, that is the list. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you enjoy the content, as always, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. And yeah, let's get into some games. Looking for Chandelure and energy. Opening hand is, I mean, we do lose an alchemy and a Chandelure, but that's kind of fine. We play like 4 alchemy, we play 3 Chandelure VMAX. We only really need 2 of them, so losing those Pokemon really isn't that big of a deal. Top decking another of either wouldn't be great, so really hoping we don't top deck any more of them. But yeah, losing 1 alchemy, 1 Chandelure really isn't the end of the world at all. We can definitely survive that that discarding there. The rest of the hand is actually pretty good. Double Quick Ball and a Great Ball and the Research. We got the draw support, and we got a ton of Pokemon Search, which is really all you need on your first turn for pretty much most decks, to be honest. But yeah, it's going to be a very solid turn 1 as long as you're able to find the energy. That's the only thing I ever get like a little bit nervous about whiffing with this deck from the games that I played. It's just like, I mean, it's very important to not whiff your energy attachments. We do play like 2 Crobat and like Rotom Phones and stuff, so we can draw pretty aggressively through our deck. But it's the only thing I'm ever kind of scared about whiffing, because it's a pretty big deal when we do whiff it. So yeah, it's pretty important for us to not whiff it, and we're really hoping we don't whiff it. We'll see here soon. Looks like my opponent has a pretty slow start though. They got the capture though, so they have the setup to potentially attack on the next turn with that Dower Grab. Yeah, so they have it set up to potentially attack. They got rid of the Urshifu there, which is interesting. Okay, got a Heat Energy top deck, so now we're in a really good spot. Crobat off the Great Ball. Not going to take it. Give up that. Go ahead and grab ourselves. Oh, our Chandelure could get KO'd here. That would be really annoying. I think my opponent doesn't do that. There's the one problem with this deck right now. Is like if they get the KO, we don't have any recovery. Like we don't need recovery, but like we don't have any energy acceleration is what I should say. So we can't like set up another Chandelure out of nowhere. Like we're very much reliant on our first Chandelure just not going down. Like please don't KO our Chandelure. I will bench the other one. I think we're just gonna go ahead and pass from there. And then once again, hoping our opponent doesn't have, I mean, they don't need very much. Well, actually with the Heat Energy, I don't really want to evolve into a VMAX that's been hit for 200 damage, but with the Heat Energy, they actually can't KO my Chandelure V. I just realized. So hopefully they see that as a reason to not bring it up and hit it. And instead, like, KO a Milcery. Or maybe they whiff the VMAX anyways, or they go KO my Chandelure. They also need to get, like, a second SingleStrike energy, which they've already reduced their chances of by actually searching that one out with Houndoom before playing cards to go through their deck. But they might have it in hand. Okay, they had it in hand the whole time. Don't mind me coming up with irrelevant scenarios. And they have the VMAX. But what will they go for? Not two prize cards, not two prize cards, or two prize cards. What is going to be their choice here? Because, yeah, they don't get two prize cards for this one. Because it does have... They're going for the two prize cards. Now, I think that's a mistake. But I'm also fine with it in this scenario because it's going to be pretty scary if my opponent didn't make this error. And then here comes a Bruno for 4. And depending on how much they play out of this hand, we actually might want to try and find a Marnie before we do anything. But they are about to draw two prize cards, which are two random cards. They don't have control over. Tower away a tower, plus 2 cards there. And Urshifu comes down. I mean, they'll have a 5-card hand still currently. So I think I'll just try and gas it up a little bit with some sharing sweets. Unless we top deck a Marnie, I would definitely be tempted to play the Marnie first. We also need a little bit on our end as well, actually, to be honest. Yeah, I think we'll share some sweets with my opponent and hope we can get the knockout. We need the VMAX, though. We need the VMAX. So let's go, I think, start with Capture Energy here. If we get out of VMAX, it shouldn't be able to get KO'd next turn. So I don't need another V yet. I'm going down and just get a Milcery. And then let's start doing this thing where we draw cards. Out of Marnie now, but I don't really want to Marnie. I don't want a Marnie here. I want to attack out of the current hand for sure. I give him plus 2 cards to work with. Hopefully we get the VMAX here. Let's see. There it is. I was getting a little bit worried there. We might not hit it. We got it though. I'm gonna go ahead and reset this Alchemy as well. And let's get a KO here. Let's do it. 7-card hand. What do we need? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is goodbye Umbreon VMAX. Off to a good start. But don't get too excited. This is where the deck can start to struggle. We get our first knockout. At any point, the deck can start to struggle, to be honest. But from here on out, it can be hard for our opponent to... Our opponent's going to probably try and play trainer cards. Like, sometimes my opponent doesn't quite fully know what's going on. And then we get our first knockout, and they're like, oh, okay. So here's where it gets tougher. This is where it gets more difficult to start winning games. It's like, even when you get off that first big knockout, and we're in a pretty good spot here. I'm not going to lie. We're in a pretty good spot. They can't attack this turn. They could get, like, a knockout with a Mean Look on a Milcery if they wanted to, but that's about the full extent of their knockout capabilities. We got a Marnie in hand as well, which is good. We can rebuild up our opponent's hand if we feel like they've had too much control over it and thinned out maybe too many trainer cards. We can draw them back up to some random cards and then try and use some alchemies after that. Share the sweets and look for some more one-hit KOs. But even if we're just going to 2-hit KO some stuff from here, it wouldn't be that big of a deal either. 2-hit KOing from here for the next couple of knockouts wouldn't be that big of a deal because we did get such a huge advantage from that knockout there, to be honest. That was a pretty big swing, if you ask me, for sure. They could look for some kind of weird knockout where they like knock out a Milcery and then actually not one-hit KO this with like a Gmax 1 blow. So I'm a little bit scared of that happening, but they don't have a lot of Houndooms in play, so for them to play boss this turn, pretty unlikely. And obviously if they evolve the Umbreon, they can't use Mean Look, so if they go to a VMAX here, I wouldn't be scared of that either. Yeah, that wouldn't be a very big deal, to be honest. But we'll see what they got. Got themselves a Dower. They discarded. What have they played this turn? It'd be good to keep track of that. They played 3 trainer cards. How much did we hit them for again on the last turn? I believe they had 5. Where did I do my damage? Okay, so they did have 5 in the hand before. So they have 2 left. At least 2 trainer cards in hand. They did top deck for turn. They haven't used Tower of Darkness. We can make them draw maybe like 3 random cards, and we need them to have 3 in the hand. So we only need to get +1. So I probably wouldn't Marnie them here, knowing there's at least 2 trainer cards in that hand. But there was like a Marnie and a research, so they're probably going to play a draw supporter yet still this turn themselves. Just going through all the other motions first here, it looks like. They'll still probably play a research or a Marnie here. If they don't, we know they at least have 2 trainer cards. Maybe they're just content with sitting on that and being like, okay, I have 2 trainer cards. That doesn't KO my Umbreon. But they gotta think about my Alchemies here. And my Alchemies are definitely coming in hot to try and boost the Chandelure's damage up to that 1-hit KO. So we'll see what else they got here. There's a Tower of Darkness use. +2 random cards. Okay, so at least 2 trainer cards still. And 3 random cards. Maybe if I'd been paying a little bit more attention to what their hand was, I would know if one of these cards they played this turn was their top deck. Not gonna lie, I wasn't paying that much attention to what they had in hand and what they played this turn. So I'm not sure, but there was an Urn. I think they had a Research and a Marnie, though, so that was drawn off of. So they still have 2 trainer cards, I believe, in the hand. I'm pretty sure they had a Research and a Marnie. And then there comes the Marnie. All right, so full random hands for both of us now. But if they don't play any cards, I'm feeling pretty good about swinging. They do play quite a few cards. We might want to try and find one of our own Marnies first, ideally. But sometimes we don't always get that option to find a Marnie before we even have to use the Alchemy. So that can always feel pretty bad. There's a Quick Ball. All right, 2 trainer cards. Goodbye. They're not getting any prize cards this turn as well. But there's a Crobat. If they play that, I'm feeling pretty good again to just swing. Let's see. It's not like there's too much more for them to dig for here anyways, though. So it'd be a little bit weird to use Crobat here, I feel like. I feel like there's not really too much value to be gained from my opponent using the Crobat, because they can't even like attack this turn. Yeah, here comes just the mean look. That makes sense. So 3 random cards, 1 Crobat in their hand. We did just draw access to our own Crobat here with this Quick Ball. How many net do I have left? 2. Let me stack that again. 2. Okay. So I think we'll go ahead and go all the way to the Milcery, grab ourselves the Crobat, throw down the Chandelure. I'm going to play the level ball and grab nothing, because I want to try and find Marnie first, play the Marnie, and then use my Alchemy. So having it in the hand really doesn't make a whole ton of sense. There's the Marnie. So let's go with the Marnie. Let's make that hand fully random once again, and then try and find some Alchemies and maybe some Scoop of Nest to reset them and hit that a little bit harder. We drew none of that. We drew none of that. So instead, we're going to go with a Rotom Phone to try and set up our top deck for the following turn. And the best top deck currently is Great Ball, but I'm going to reset that again because there's got to be something better than that. A Marnie would be spectacular. Thank you so much. And I'll go ahead and throw down a Fire Energy here on the bench. Not the Heat Energy. What that's for, though. That's another KO. Okay, so pretty good Marnie from us, I guess. Didn't even need any Alchemy. I would have played them if we had them. Did not need them, apparently, though. And we got another Marnie on top, so we can do it once again. We only have 1 prize card left, though, so we open up some options of maybe chasing down a Houndour, ideally. Houndoom, that 130 HP, if we're swinging with just the Chandelure V, would be a little bit annoying. And that's what I'm looking at here, actually. It's like attacking with Chandelure V. Because we have that set up right now. We don't have the VMAX yet, and we wouldn't be able to boss plus get the VMAX this turn because we know our top deck is a Marnie. So if we have to go the Marnie route, it wouldn't be terrible, but it would be a little bit more limiting on, you know, potentially closing out the game this turn. But if they do take a KO on the VMAX, well, maybe I should have gone put a research on top instead, because they would be KOing a VMAX here, which is 3 random cards out of the prize cards. I don't really want a Marnie there in that situation, to be honest. That's only if they get this KO, though. It's definitely possible that they whiff the KO. But even if they KO'd anything else off my bench or anything like that, I still would almost want them to hold their hand. But I feel like they would go after a Milcery if they went for a KO off the bench. Here comes a research. That's a lot of cards to the hand. See how many of them they can play. That's a whole ton of cards to the hand. I didn't actually think about this interaction anymore, but we don't play any stadium cards, and it's almost maybe better that way. So we don't like counter our opponent's stadium and then they get to put a fresh stadium in play. We just like don't play stadiums. We're like, okay, that's fine. You get to play your one stadium, and now if you play the same stadium, you play like 3 or 4 of the same stadium. You just can't put your other ones in play. I guess in the Urshifu deck, you can Tower of Darkness away your other Tower of Darkness, but then you can't like Tower of Darkness away Urns if you're doing a Tower of Darkness or something like that. I guess there's just like a little bit of an advantage to be gained there, I guess. Or if you Tower of Darkness first and then draw into another Tower of Darkness, you can't put that in play or something like that. Okay, they got the G-Max 1 blow. So we have to dig for a V-Max anyways. Although I could have made... Oh, I could still make that call, though. I could just go chase a Houndoom here, to be honest. They have a 4-card hand. They're going to draw 3 random cards off the prize cards. We would need this to hit, and 2 more random cards off the tower. I think I'm going to go for a boss on a Houndoom here and hope the Chandelure V with the small Poltergeist can make it work. Won't have access to the max Poltergeist, but that's 8 cards there. I'm feeling pretty good about the Chandelure's odds. 4 trainer cards. I feel like there's a pretty good chance there's 4 trainer cards in that hand. Could be wrong, and we could get punished, but I'm feeling it here. Playing Marnie right here to then try and KO this feels pretty difficult. I like the boss play. We're gonna go for it. Let's see if it pays off. Poltergeist, they need 4 trainer cards. We got 1, 2, 3. So close. 120 damage on the Houndoom. Oh man, we're so close, but not quite there yet. I didn't really want to shuffle their hand there. Couple alchemies might have been able to get us there. Now we're in big trouble. Because we can get actually, hold on. I said that initially. No, we could get KO'd here, though. They could have another Urshifu V get off that impact blow. Now, they are down 3 Urn and 3 SingleStrike energy. So they have a lot of stuff gone. This Umbreon could actually also do it, though. The Umbreon could do it with triple SingleStrike energy. That would also KO my Chandelure. Or they could even go KO a Milcery or something for less if they have a boss. Or the Umbreon VMAX. They need 1 less. They could have a capture energy instead. Oh, and here comes the evolve to the Umbreon. They're bringing up my Milcery here. Do they have the last urn? That's what it's coming down to. I don't think I saw it in the hand. They had like Marnie research. I think they top decked the air balloon actually. It was like Marnie research something. Here comes a quick ball. Yeah, can they find their last urn? It's all coming down to this last urn right now. And if they'll be able to find it, Hopefully they don't. I don't want them to find that urn. We want another turn of no urn. So hopefully we can win the game. Yeah, so close there. We needed 1 more. I had a feel. It was feeling good. I was like, they chose to use Tower of Darkness and just draw 2 random cards. I was like, I don't know. That doesn't seem very good to do. They did it. 3 random prize cards. We need 4 trainer cards in those 8 cards. It was feeling pretty good. Did not end up going very well, though. But we still have a chance here. They actually ended up grabbing that Urshifu V I was talking about. That could have KO'd our Chandelure. They're in the same spot, though, where they can just bring up this Milcery and they're still just an urn away. So it's kind of like the same thing. Anyways, let's just see if they find that urn. I believe they still have their Crobat left as well. Yeah, so they could dig pretty deep. They are out of quick balls, though. So the chances of finding the Crobat are definitely pretty low. Oh, it's in hand. It's actually maybe been in hand, to be honest. Yeah, the Crobat has maybe actually been in hand. Evolution Incense. Again, they're burning a lot of cards here. So if they have a Research or a Marty, and the urn is in the deck, they've got a pretty good chance of seeing it at this point, to be honest. Only 11 cards if they actually find something off this urn here, or Evolution Incense, which they should be able to find a Houndoom there, unless they're all in the hand. They should be able to actually find... They have a pretty good chance of finding the urn. They probably have a target for the Evolution Incense. And then they should be able to find that... or good chance to find the urn. Not guaranteed. Not guaranteed. They could get to the point where it is guaranteed, to be honest, though. Between like a Research and a Tower of Darkness draw, that's 9. And there's the concede. I think it's prized. I think their last urn must be prized there as they concede. And we do it. We get the dub with the Chandelure. I was getting a little bit nervous there, but I'm sure on that check they checked and they don't have it, so we win. All right, here we go again. Let's get it. Let's get a Chandelure. Let's get an energy on our first turn, whenever that might be, because my opponent's taking their time here on this decision. Big decision here. Do they want to go first? Do they want to go second? Looks like first. Usually a pretty good decision there to go first. So my opponent figured it out. All right, we got some great balls. We've got a phone. We've got the energy. Do we want to attach to our active Chandelure is the question. The answer is probably no, but we might have to if we don't. Well, I could wait, I guess. I was like, if we don't get one off the great ball, I kind of want to, but I just want to go with 8. We're up against the Leafeon. Let's go. That's what we're talking about. Leafeon VMAX should be, well, actually, you know, to be honest, they could like turn 2 KO our Chandelure V that has the energy. Hopefully they don't have the whole boss combo play, and they don't have that. And then if not, with not easy one-hit KOs, but not terribly difficult one-hit KOs, I would imagine. I would imagine it's pretty easy to one-hit KO Leafeon with a Chandelure. But we'll see. I've never played the matchup before, so losing a VMAX does not sound good. Okay, we got a fresh V to work with. Got ourselves a Milcery as well. And then a Rotom Phone. Gonna go ahead and set up another Milcery on top, actually, I think is gonna be the play here. Load up this bench. Research. See what we can rip here. Milcery, we knew that was coming. I want like another Milcery. I almost am like tempted to play like a phone first, but it doesn't make a whole ton of sense, I don't think. Another Milcery down. Okay, this start is... This is it. I don't know. It doesn't get too much better than this, I don't think. All right. Pass over to my opponent. Can they knock out my Chandelure V on the bench? They need VMAX. They need energy. They need stadium. They need boss's orders with no Sobble down. So they don't have a shady dealings to work with to find some of these cards. They're just kind of going in. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Thank goodness. I was like, there's no chance, man. There wasn't. They did not get it. I kind of want a Marnie here. I don't have a feeling that they probably have a lot of Pokemon in the hand, to be honest. I feel like they probably have a lot of Pokemon in the hand clogging up the hand. I'm gonna go ahead and capture. We need a lot here, though, to be honest. We need a lot. So I'm gonna start with a phone here and just see what the top deck is. There's a research to grab. I could just grab this research. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. All right, maybe we do just go like this and just we're gonna let him have this hand then. Okay. Another one. There's the VMAX. We need. Oh, there's the Marnie, but there's the VMAX. I'm gonna get the VMAX here. I'm gonna get the VMAX here. Draw another card. Our opponent draws another card. Got ourselves that VMAX. And they can't one-hit KO the VMAX. Our VMAX is not one-hit KOable. And capture energy. Got our energy for turn. Again, just gonna get another Milcery. I'm not gonna mention another Chandelure V until we can attach to it in the same turn. Cause I want to get like Boston stuck in the active or something weird like that. So we're just gonna wait to bench. There's in the hand for the next turn. All right, what is that max poltergeist doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, not bad. Looks like those prize cards plus draws were quite a few trainer cards or like useful ones because they didn't like play any trainer cards last turn. They had like a level ball and a evolution insect. They had some good ones in there. It looked like. I don't know. Suspicious maybe. They had 4 though, so we can kind of track as our opponent plays it. I should have taken like a harder look there. Evolution instance, level ball, discovery, Marnie. Okay. So they play any of those or not those, then we kind of know. But I'm gonna go ahead and guess that my opponent's gonna play the Marnie here. Or if they don't, we know we don't have enough to knock them out. But we could still try and so they have 2 in hand right now. So discovery and the Marnie, and there goes the Marnie. Okay. So random 5 for my opponent. And really the only, besides like item cards that you can play down, the only card that really helps get rid of trainer cards in this format is Quick Ball. So if they don't like play a Quick Ball, we know that means they didn't have really that much control over their hand. They got their energy off the energy search. Do I want a Marnie? I don't really feel like Marnieing them here, to be honest. I don't really like. We can make them draw 3 cards onto this already kind of random hand. I think I'm just gonna make them draw 3 and hit. We're gonna make them draw 3 and hit. I think. I don't think I'm gonna play this Marnie here. I need an energy for turn. Maybe I should have played the Quick Ball on the Great Ball. Yeah, we should do this actually. Get a Chandelure V. We need an energy for this thing actually. Or like a research here would be good as well. Or we have to win. No energy. Do we just swing and hope here then? I think we just swing and hope that's the KO. 1, 2, 3. Wait, is that enough? That's enough. Let's go. 420 on the Leafeon. Yeah, pretty good matchup. As far as matchups go for Chandelure VMAX. That's going to do it for the games, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. The deck is a ton of fun. It's a great meme. Try it out. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the deck, give the video a like if you enjoyed the content and you're new here. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.